How's everybody doing? Really appreciative of all the fans that came out today to help celebrate our senior day. Really appreciative of all the students that came out today to help celebrate our senior day. Thought it was a great opportunity for our seniors to be recognized, and obviously they appreciate it. So we appreciate every single person that was here today. Really good job by the players of keeping their composure, keeping their competitive spirit, continuing to battle, continuing to respond. We needed a win like this, where we had to kind of battle through. We've been in situations before we weren't able to battle. We showed the ability today against a really good football team to battle. Hats off to ULM for a really good, hard-fought battle. Good football team, really good players, really good scheme. But really proud of our players, the way they executed today when it mattered. Still got a lot of things to clean up, but in this league, they're going to be tough. So we got to find a way each week to get better and better, eliminate some mistakes, coach a little better to put us in better position, play a little better in certain positions, everything. Everybody's in this together, but really good job today.
I think sometimes the phrase complementary football can be overused, but it seemed like you guys really did that today. In the first quarter, you create a turnover, get a touchdown off of it. You hold them to a field goal there in the early moments of the fourth quarter, then you go back down and score and take the lead. Is that, kind of in a picture frame exactly what complementary football looks like?
Yeah, I don't use that term because our players don't know what that means. I use the term somebody's got to hit a three at some point. They all watch basketball. At some point, Steph Curry is going to come down and put the dagger in the other team. Comes off a miss, comes off a big rebound. They kick it out. They go down. They roll in the paint, kick it back out to him. Got to hit a big three. And that's what we had to do today for our defense. Came up with a stop at the right time. Got to hit a big three on offense at some point, Special teams, Alec makes a huge play, off of that drive, we end up, getting better field position, big time three-pointer by that punt team and Alec at that point, taking the strain off each other. But yes, to answer your question, but I usually talk about it by taking the strain off, defensively. There were some opportunities where we just didn't move the ball efficiently on offense or weren't able to finish some drives. They came out and made big stops. The biggest play of the game is probably that third and whatever down stop on the goal line. That ball started on the one. That drive started on the one. Quarter ended, we flipped, got to knock them back, huge sack. So a big opportunity right there where they could have put 6 on the board. They held them to 3. Probably changed the complexity of the game, gave our defense a little bit of life. Offensively, 2 plays later, bang, bang, we're in the end zone. That's how you hit a 3. That's usually what happens. You watch Steph Curry, next thing you know, bang, bang, they're up 9. It's like, well, wait a minute, we were just down 6. So that's kind of what happened today. I think the players really responded. I was waiting to kind of see what their kind of vibe was going to be when it wasn't going right and it got later and later. We talked about it all week. This team is going to try to drag this game into the late half of the fourth quarter, the final few minutes, and then they're going to try to make a play. We knew we had to make some plays to kind of put a little stress on them. I think the players did a phenomenal job of that today.
About the job of Ethan and Jordan down the stretch without AJ in the game, just to kind of carry that and help you guys close it out on the ground?
Yeah, AJ was good, but it was kind of one of those ones where it's like we can put a guy in there with a little bump bruise on himself, or we can just run the other two, and that's next man up mentality. I didn't want to put us in a situation. I think Jordan did a phenomenal job. If AJ breaks out of there on that one and he's kind of limping a little bit, does he get as many yards? So I think it's a really good job by that whole room. Coach Lockett does a phenomenal job of next man up mentality. I think they all bring something that's a little bit tough. It was a big-time run by Ethan Payne in the offense there at the end. That's a championship team run. That's what it looks like. You're going to hit me on the 5, and we're going to carry your team 2 yards in the end zone. But that's what our players are able to do. We just got to find a way to continue to do it more consistently. And obviously, don't get me wrong, hats off to ULM. Good football team. Not the same ULM. They're going to win a lot of games. They're tough. I think their players play extremely hard, but we needed to be able to beat a really good team to keep this thing going. Now we got to find a way to clean up all the mistakes we made. There were a lot of opportunities out there. We get probably the one touchdown. The guy's 6 inches off the line. He's got to get all the way off. Fitz has got to use his hands to catch the ball so it doesn't come out, so there's no question whether it was out or not. And that's what I said to him afterwards. I said, you got to go up and attack the ball, and that's what he did on the next one. So luckily we had an opportunity to get a next one. We got to get to the point where we're taking advantage of that first one, if that makes sense.
On that particular play, Coach, I don't know the exact rule, but if he has possession,
Can't
takes
get
two
me.
steps.
Can't get me.
No,
Can't get me.
I'm just.
Nope. No.
I just wanted your
No.
opinion.
You got to
on that.
call the league office and
Okay.
ask. You can't get me. No. And to be honest, I tell them all the time. We're good enough to take the refs out of it. We're good enough to take the fans out of it. We're good enough to take the opponent out of it. We got to make plays. If we make plays early in that game, nobody cares if he catches that because it's the difference between 42 and 28. So same thing, 8 weeks ago, whatever. We make plays earlier in the game, take advantage of opportunities, and it doesn't come down to one or two plays at the end. And that's the mentality we got to get to, because we can't get into this. Oh, that was a bad call. Oh, that was a home field advantage or whatever. When we're on the right, we can't do that. We got to play and take advantage of the opportunity. Steph Curry don't miss threes. That's why he's the best shooter in the world. So when you get an opportunity to hit an open one, you got to hit it. And if you don't, you put yourself in position where now a judgment call by anybody, whether that's the officials, whether that's the coach saying should we go with this player, a judgment call by anybody magnifies that situation, if that makes sense. But you can't get me. No,
I won't. Okay, I'll ask you another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just on the defense, Hardy breaks that big run, but I thought at the end of the game, you guys were kind of swarming him. I mean, making sure that.
Yeah, no, in the first half, we came in, we talked about it. There were probably two plays that got out on us: the one wheel route, and then the one long run. And we talked about it, and we made some adjustments. We were doing some things early. We made some adjustments to force the ball back into the teeth of our defense, which, when you do that, you have another component to it. Now, the safety's got to get, so we were trying to do some things to keep our safeties, out of it, to be able to play some of the pass stuff that we thought they would try to get on us. We made an adjustment at the half. Defensively made a good adjustment, started pushing the ball back into the teeth of our defense. I think probably was a huge adjustment in the game, because it allowed us to kind of get into more of tackles for loss rather than the leaky yards that you hear me talk about. And I thought they made a really good adjustment, putting in some unbalance and formation into the boundary to kind of, get us in a certain defense. We could have made some adjustments, but now you put your back in on the island. Offensively, we made some plays that gave us a little bit of ability to kind of be a little more hey, keep it in front. Let's make them drive the field, which plays into the time game. So I thought, again, complimentary football or Steph Curry hitting threes when he needs to as a whole.
Coach, it seemed like early on
Like
ULM was
able. You're on it.
back with a tie. It seemed like early on ULM was able to control at the line of scrimmage, defensively, but it seemed like the offensive line was able to adjust, hold the blocks and avoid the passes swatted at the line. What can you say about the adjustment there?
Yeah, I thought, as the game went on, we knew what it was going to be. They were a good front. They play with energy. They don't play a lot of guys. So we knew if we just stayed with them, didn't give up too many. We didn't have a lot of negative plays. Now, they batted some balls down, complimented them, but we didn't have a lot of negative plays. Probably had the highest amount of sacks that we had, but that was due to being in 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8s. Got to hold the ball a little longer, got to get the receiver downfield a little longer. But we didn't have a lot of negative runs. And I thought as the game went on, our guys stuck to it, and our guys started getting a little bit of movement. So if you watch as the game went on, now those runs that were 2 and 3, now they're 8s and 9s, and then Houston hits the big one at the end, Payne muscles it in. So we felt like we were going to have to be patient with the run game. What we got to get better at is eliminating these 3rd and 7, 8, 9s. You got to hold on the ball. Everybody knows you're going to pass. We had some big plays on defense when they were 3rd and plus 10. So we've got to improve on that a little bit to help us out a little bit efficiency-wise. But hats off to them. They batted the balls down. They, did a really good job of twisting. Their backers played downhill fast. Compliment to our guys for sticking with the game plan and continuing to just grind away.
Felt like it took a while for either side really to get into a rhythm. There are a lot of stoppages in today's game for one reason or another. But there towards the end, did it feel like you guys finally hit a rhythm and were able to build off of that energy?
Yeah, I think early in the game they did a really good job. We knew they were going to be a ball control offense. We knew they were going to try to take the play clock down, shorten the game. I thought once we got the lead, it changed what they can do now because they can't let it tick down because now we got to score. So I thought, again, complimentary football, in your words, Luke. Complimentary football forced them to change a little bit what they were doing offensively. Early in the game, it was 14-14, so it's really like 0-0. Beginning of the game, it might have been 14-7 or whatever. You can play your game. Well, all of a sudden now you get down 5, you get down 11. You're 2 possessions in, you got to pick it up a little bit. And I thought that helped our offense because they weren't sitting, on the sideline for so long. So I thought it was a good job of complimentary football. Now, and I'll be honest, we got a lot to clean up because you can't play games like this over and over and over. But in this last month, man, it's find a way each week, and I think our guys did a heck of a job of that today. Really proud of them.
Coach, obviously, in the conference standings, everything's close in the East Division. You pick a big win today. How you carry the message about this win today going to the next Saturday at Southern Miss?
Yeah, all we can control is what we do. We can't control who plays who and what other teams do. We got an unbelievable opportunity to celebrate these seniors tonight, rehab, rest, get a great game plan together for a really tough, physical Southern Miss football team on the road, which we've got to find a way to play better. Then we got all week to prepare to play the best game of our life, like it's the last game of our life. And whatever happens with anybody else, that's totally up to to them. We can only focus on us. We got an unbelievable opportunity moving forward into the next week to go out and play really well. However we got to do it. Maybe we got to become triple option or something. I don't know. Maybe power I don't know. But whatever we got to do. If we got to become triple option, I'll get my veer option playbook out from high school, and we'll pitch it around like to remember the Titans.
All right. Anything else for Coach?
Just really good. Appreciate everybody again. Please go out and vote. It doesn't matter to me who you vote for, but I want to make sure everybody go out and vote. You can go to the Drinko Library. I don't have the time. I went over there Friday. I think it was Friday, one of these days. But please go out and vote. We need everybody's opinion. Everybody's voice matters. Don't care who you vote for, but please go out and vote. It's a lot of people have fought for our American freedom to do that. So please, I think it's Tuesday. Is that right? I don't know what day it is. But again, thank you guys who were here today for our seniors. They really appreciate it. They're a big part of why we're having success. You are a big part of why they chose to come to Marshall, meaning the fans and the community. So please continue to support us. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everybody. Go Herd.